Hi! So sorry about the very ghetto quality today. All my appliances are full, my phone, my iPad, so I've had to come back to my really old laptop with a photo booth on it to make this video, but I just felt if I didn't come on and start recording again, that I just probably will end up letting the channel go completely for months again. So yeah, I'm sure it doesn't really matter that it's not the best quality. So I wanted to make a video today on something that I have spoken about before, but I just wanted to expand on it a little bit because it came up again for me. I think I said before that I stopped listening to a lot of pining and sad music, and that is, I do still stick to that. It's very rare. I'm not saying that, if it comes on the radio and I like the song or the odd one, but I'd say I've almost exclusively now stopped listening to all sad, pining, depressive songs. I'm a Pisces, I'm very emotional, or I was very emotional. I'm not really that emotional anymore, but I used to be very emotional. I understand, and I'm an artist, and that is what we do. And there's all kinds of arts. You don't have to be a painter. You can, or a photographer. You can be a singer, an actor. Anything in the arts really is being an artist. And if you speak to almost anybody that's good in those fields, the likelihood is that they are very emotional and they're very deep and they're very sensitive, and they sort of work through and process that by kind of dumping it into their work and what they're doing. A lot of our, biggest films, biggest songs, biggest paintings are around emotion. They're around sad emotions predominantly as well. Loss or pining for somebody or being in love with somebody they can't have. There's very, very few purely happy pieces that kind of get out there and get that popular. And I can identify with this as an artist, that this is how we kind of channel our emotions, is we put them into our work, we put them into art. And the problem that I've realised was that, I'm taking on so many other people's emotions when I'm listening to these songs or looking at this artwork or just buying into all this sort of sad, depressive, emotional, pining kind of stuff. They're trauma dumping into their craft, which is nothing wrong with. It's a way of processing. I also have done it, but by listening to it, it's like I know some people love it because they're like, oh yeah, but I identify with it. And of course you identify with it. That's why I used to listen to it because I used to identify with it as well. But the problem is, if you're not careful, it's the same with when you look into all stuff like narcissists and all these, things that you have going on like mentally, or looking into depressiveness or narcissism, or I don't know, I'm losing the words today, but when you start to look into that too much, what you can do is loop, because we're manifesting, right? So if you just talk about it all the time, all your problems and all the things you're depressed about, or all the problems that you have with men, or all the way men are, or the way all your partners are, yes, I think it's good to acknowledge it and integrate it, but to kind of just constantly loop it isn't really doing it, you any favours. And in my opinion, that's the same with these sad, pining songs, is, yeah, you're identifying with it and then you're just keeping it alive, that energy, by just looping it round. And I actually realised as an artist that I was kind of doing the same as well. If I was painting sad things about people pining, then that again, it's powerful. Painting is very powerful. I remember this story a while back. I think it was Tracey Emin, and don't quote me on this one because it was a while ago, and I just briefly read it, but it was something to do with the fact that she was painting painting cancer or something, and then she found she had a cancerous tumour that she had to, I'm sure it was Tracey Emin, that she had to have removed. It was kind of almost, from me knowing about manifestation, I could totally see how she'd created that through her art, and it's made me be very careful about the things that I'm painting and the things that I'm creating. Is I don't really want to create more pining, more negativity, more sadness, more emotional dump. It's why I started painting a lot of twin flame union, because I thought, well, I don't want to paint things I don't want anymore. I want to paint things I want. I want to listen to happy songs. I want to listen to music that's positive. And I do think this is like a big thing that keeps us in these loops, because society is very, very set up to keep us stuck, to keep us going round, by constantly throwing it in our face. Negative things that keep you stuck, old trauma loops. And in my opinion, this is why I think it's really, really, really important to look at what you're not only ingesting in the arts, but what you're putting out and creating as well. Not because of other people, they're responsible for what they listen to and they're responsible for their own journey, but purely for yourself. For yourself, do you want to be, when you look at your art, is that what you want to be creating in your life, And if not, maybe, change it, because it's powerful. And, I only had this realization a few years ago, and I'm still stepping into it more and more. But, this is the same as we listen to subliminals. If we're listening to this stuff enough, it's going to go into the subliminal and it's going to start creating it. And we do have to be really careful about doing this, and I know that it's something I've got to be careful with, because I started watching a few things about people with illnesses, because one just flashed up. I'm not even going to talk about it any more than that. And I watched it, and then you start to identify with the person, and then guess what? YouTube shows you more and more and more and more of people with the same illness, and you're like, and sort of then you end up clicking them because they're on your page. And I'm going to make an active thing now to just not do that. And, it's the same with clicking, whether it's a conspiracy or whether it's manifesting or an algorithm or whatever it is, what we click on and what we watch, we get shown a lot more of. So if you go down your feed and it's like a lot of negative stuff, then, you've got to be careful and switch some of that around, so that when you go on your feed, that's in a way, your social media feeds are kind of like an active way of looking at what you are focused on and what you are looking at the most and what you're bringing into your life at the moment. So I hope that helps. Sorry about the terrible quality today. It's actually not that bad. I thought Photo Booth was a lot worse, but maybe when it's actually uploaded, I'll see just how bad it is. And I hope everyone's having a great day, and I'm going to really try now. I'm back. I had 2 holidays, and then I was like really, really ill for a week, and I really want to get back to being a lot more consistent. So I hope everybody is good, and I will speak soon. Bye.